Hello everyone and welcome to IELTS Gaby. I'm Gaby Monteiro, the creator of the SBAN method for the IELTS exam, and welcome to another class. Today I'm going to answer one of the most asked questions ever, which is, which IELTS is the best IELTS to do? There's so many different ones, so today we're going to understand everything about it and you're going to tell me in the end which one is the best one. If you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe right now so you don't miss any class and any tips for your IELTS preparation, okay? Alright, so let's start with understanding what is IELTS. IELTS is the International English Language Testing System, and it's made of 4 different exams: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. You get individual grades for each of these exams and one general score for all of them. But there are some different types of IELTS that exist in the world, and many people get very confused with which one they have to do. So you have IELTS Academic, you have IELTS General, you have IELTS UKVI, and you also have IELTS Life Skills. We're going to understand details of every single one. Let's begin with IELTS Academic, which is that IELTS that you do when you're applying for a certain university. So it's more educational themed because they're testing people, students and candidates, to have an academic life abroad. It could be your undergrad, could be your postgrad, master's, PhD, whatever it is. They can require you the IELTS Academic. The difference in the test itself is that reading has longer text with more educational theme, and task 1 in your writing exam is a graph analysis for the academic one. It may sound scary, but it's not that bad, I promise you. I'm horrible with maths and graphs and etc. and I've done the academic IELTS and everything was fine. So there are ways for us to best do it in our life. So the academic, basically, if you're going for a university, you're going to do academic IELTS. General one is for normally immigration purposes, so it's more of daily life themed. For the differences, reading, there's shorter texts for the reading for general, and the task 1 in your writing exam, it's a letter, and this letter could be formal, informal, or semi-formal instead of the graph analysis. Now, if your goal is to work abroad, it depends on your employer. They could ask you for the academic or they could ask you for the general. I've worked with students that were working, that were applying to work abroad, and it varies from what is the field you're working on. So you really need to check about it. What is the IELTS UKVI? IELTS UKVI is specifically for the UK, and it's when the Home Office, which is the institution that recognizes the visas for work and stuff here, they recognize your IELTS. So there's literally a stamp in your report form for the IELTS. And UKVI could be either IELTS Academic or IELTS General. It's the exact same test as academic or general, but it's slightly more expensive because you have that stamp and the recognition of the Home Office. Again, you only know if you need this if you go straight to the source of what you're applying for to see if you need that. I came to the UK just to do my master's and I did IELTS Academic. I did not need UKVI. Some students that came to work, they did need the UKVI, so you need to check which one do you need, okay? And then the IELTS Life Skills, you might not even know this exists, is the IELTS for those students that are A1, A2, or B1, which means they are beginners and starting the intermediate of English language. And this test only has listening and speaking. It's a lot more simple than the regular IELTS, and is required for some visas. I do not work with IELTS Life Skills. I do focus on the regular IELTS because I've never done IELTS Life Skills, and there are not really that many people that that need this one. But it might be your case. It's simpler than the other one. It's cheaper than the other one, so it's a good option for you to do as well. We also have 2 different formats of IELTS. You can do the IELTS paper-based or you can do the IELTS computer-based, and this is a huge battle of which one is better. I do ask you to tell me in the comments which one do you prefer and why do you prefer either paper-based or computer-based. Let me explain the differences. I'm not going to tell you which one is better. It's your decision. So the paper-based is the classic paper and pencil. So you go to the institution that's applying your test, you go to a classroom, they're going to give you the paper test, test and you answer this test. Because of that, you have an answer sheet to complete in the end of the test, and because of that, you have 10 more minutes at the end of your listening test to put your answers through the answer sheet. The audio that plays in the listening test for the paper-based test is normally in the boxes, the sound boxes of the classroom. Meaning, if someone next to you sneezes, if a lorry or truck goes on outside and it's noisy in the window, it might get in the way of your test, but you cannot control that. No one can control that. And I've heard very few cases that it got ruined by something like that. It's normally pretty okay. Cambridge has really good standards with that listening. And for the writing on paper-based test, there's no automatic word count. You're literally writing by hand, so you need to count your words by hand as well. For computer-based IELTS, it's on online platform, but you do go to where the exam is applied. You don't do it from home. You go there, they give you a computer with the platform, and you answer things there. For that reason, there is no answer sheet. You do everything in the platform, and that means that for your listening test, you only have two more minutes after the exam is over to review and check your answers, because you don't actually need to transport them anywhere else because there's no answer sheet. The audio is on individual headphones, which could make it better of, if someone coughs, sneezes next to me, it might not get in the way. I did have one student once that he was sat next to the window and a car, a lorry or a truck, I don't remember what, passed outside, and his headphones were not really good, the ones the school gave him, so it got in his way a little bit. Again, those are things that you cannot predict or control during your exam, so don't worry about them. Just prepare yourself and go do your best the day of your exam. For the writing on computer-based, you type your text and there is already an automatic word count happening there, so you don't actually have to worry about counting your words. You can see the word count in the page for you. Okay? For both formats, for computer-based or paper-based, the speaking test is done face-to-face, you and the examiner in a room, just the two of you, and a recorder, so if you ask for a remark, they can check your answers. So another examiner is going to check your answers after that. But the speaking, regardless of what test you ask, is face-to-face. The speaking is done in a completely different time as the other exam, as the written tests. So if you do your written test in the morning, you could do your speaking test in the afternoon and vice versa. Or, as I've done, you could do your speaking test during the week. I've done it on a Tuesday, and then I did the rest of my exam on a Saturday. So it could be different days as well. It depends on where you're scheduling your test and what type of test it is. Okay? So which one is better? You tell me. That's your decision. It's not my decision. So you find all the information you need on the institution you're applying for to know which test it is, if it's academic or general, KVI, life skills, anyway. Do mock tests of both formats to decide if you want to do paper-based or computer-based. In the official IELTS website, IELTS.org, you can see, you can do a mock test of the platform for computer-based, so you can fill that, and you have tests to print out so you can do paper-based. So do mock tests and see which one fits you better. I did paper-based when I did the exam, but because they were not offering computer-based in my city when I did my exam. But it really depends on you. There are some students that hate reading on the screen for so long, or their eyes get too tired, or they really want to do it by hand, like highlighting things. You can highlight things on your computer-based platform, but they do want to do it by hand, so they prefer the paper-based ones. On the other hand, there are students that cannot write for so long by hand anymore, so they prefer to do it on computer. It's entirely your choice. You need to test it out by yourself. So quick review, which one is better? You're gonna tell me in the comments down below. It's either academic or general, UKVI, life skills, or paper or computer based. If you have any questions related to those, to everything we talked about today, pop them in the comments that I will answer you later. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and follow me on Instagram at IELTS with Gaby so you don't miss out on any tips for your IELTS preparation. Okay? Thank you very much, and I'll see you next class. Bye!